Like, you know what's nuts? Yeah, I said
Bitcoin.
this to my friend the other day. It never fully dawned on me. But when I said it, I was like, whoa, yeah. In Algeria, I don't know anyone who has a bank account. Someone told me that he went so raw on her. He destroyed her personal life.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Okay. He said, we have a shorter council thing, 5 people, like elders. He said, we discussed that point and we agreed that I would do that.
Right. Okay.
He's like, don't think that I was just in the spur of the moment. He's like, no, we planned that. I think Pakistan is the one people sleeping on.
Bro, I watch those food blogs in Pakistan. Like, they sleeping on this. Pakistan is a country people are sleeping on for real. You know?
And a lot of people, like in the UK, they have or they could get the citizenship, right? So you don't have the visa issues. Maybe your language is sorted, and there's like a few like kind of startup movement happening out there. A few tech companies coming out there. So it's a place where you could kind of actually make money, not just go there and like try and bring money in.
Well, you know what service I did the other day? I received dream interpretation.
Yeah. Okay.
Ever gone down that road?
No, although 9 months ago I had a mad dream, and I thought it might be something I should look into, but I'm kind of scared. Kind of don't want to. Okay. Okay, we're live now. So, how do I actually just go to it on YouTube? There's a button from here.
Here we go.
Preview mode. What's that? Back to live mode. Okay.
Okay, let me share these. Let me share our live stream with all the people.
We've been learning some good Turkish, man.
Oh God. Oh man, I made up a Turkish phrase the other day to my wife, and because she couldn't believe that I spoke Turkish, so I just made a random Turkish sounding sentence up, and it turns out it was real. It was a real thing.
Was it like sujuk or something?
No, it was like, I'm thirsty, apparently. That's what it meant.
I don't know how to say that.
No, I'm thirsty. I Googled it. I know, I put it into Google Translate, the audio thing. And
Yeah.
bro, that's it. It's innate. You ever heard of those people that like have a concussion and then wake up speaking a different language?
No.
Come on. You never heard of them?
How's that possible?
Exactly. How is it possible? But I've seen it in the news multiple times. Someone woke up speaking Chinese, well, Mandarin. Someone woke up speaking Spanish. I see it all the time.
Okay, all the time, yeah.
Well, as in, I've seen it on the news. Let me see.
Okay, bro, throw up post the link and then throw up the curious cat.
I will do, yeah. Let me see.
I can hear my son screaming.
Poor parenting, that.
I'll tell you something, bro.
Please do, because otherwise we won't have a podcast.
Having 2 kids is not as bad as I thought, but it's only been a month, but still.
See, Ilyas is in his terrible 2s, and he does not listen, bro.
But like Suleiman is older, right? So isn't it like you're mainly dealing with, Ilyas?
Yeah, I suppose, but like when they're combined, I had a very amazing idea of buying them toy swords for Eid, which hasn't gone down very well.
Boom.
Now
Anyone have they got like they both got both their eyes, yeah?
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
And most of my furniture is still, untarnished.
Okay, good. What's your philosophy around batching the kids or, spacing them out?
Bro, I think you should just never stop.
Okay, so not even batch, just like just in time manufacturing.
It's all for a good cause, isn't it? And at the end of the day, bro, my strong belief.
Okay, I don't know if you were serious saying that or not. You're
Bro,
serious, yeah?
The cause is the ummah, bro.
Okay, but like,
And plus,
so like after 6, 7, 8, you still just keep going, yeah?
Allah knows best. Okay, I think for me, like generally, the people are like, "Oh, live your life a bit before you have kids." I'm like, no, live my life after I have kids.
Live my life with my kids.
No. There's no life with the kids, bro. You have to sacrifice so much. But they can sponsor you. They can sponsor your cruise.
Yeah. Let me think. When my son starts working, I'll be like 43 or something like that. That's young enough to enjoy his patronage.
Enjoy that paycheck.
Yeah.
Right. I've shared this enough for now.
Okay, now let's go to Curious Cat.
Let's go to, apart from the Telegram group who haven't got the link.
I'll put it in there.
Oh, right, cool. Right, Curious Cat. Do you know what? The first question I want to address is this one that I don't know if it's like a dig towards us, but I'm gonna talk about it. Okay. So it says, this is from the 5th of February. So sorry. I find it very interesting for me to observe Arab/brown Muslims be extremely well versed when discussing Islamophobia and having a deep understanding of systemic and societal oppression in that context, and then drawing blanks when anti-blackness and racism within the ummah is brought up. Why is it so hard to be honest as an ummah and acknowledge the dhulm that Muslims enact upon each other simply due to race?
Bro, I'm drawing blanks, bro. Drawing blanks.
So I don't know if that was like meant to be about us, because we've had questions like this before.
Walaikum salam, Shuaib, by the way. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Walaikum salam, Shuaib. You let us down. Now look, we're clutching at straws here, trying to do something without you.
Bro, nah, it's our fault fully. Bro, he came through with the official channel as well.
That's it.
Commented as the channel. Bro, I don't know what they're referring to in terms of which episode, but maybe if they listen to all the episodes, they would. Like, for example, you know the episode we did about, what's that term, like, that's, popular term these days, representation.
Oh, okay.
Representation. The episode we did about representation, maybe that's what they're talking about?
I don't know.
But actually, if you were to listen to that, surely they would kind of get our vibe. I don't know. What did you want to say about it?
Look, you're asking why Muslims, no matter what race, whatever religion, or not religion, but you know what I mean, wherever they're from. In this case, you've named Arab/brown Muslims, being extremely well versed in discussing Islamophobia, which is something that they are victims of, and then drawing blanks when anti-blackness and racism brought up. Well, your answer is there. Because one is a lived experience and the other is something that they might not necessarily live in. They might not necessarily experienced.
Yeah.
All right. So, for example, ask me about Islamophobia. I'm going to answer it. Right. And I'm going to sympathize because I'm going to speak about my own experience and I'm going to sympathize with others who go through it around the world. Ask me about racism towards black people. I'm going to sympathize, but there's no way I'm going to be able to give you a lived experience. And I don't think it's right for me to pretend to do that. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, people might say, oh, you've got energy for one thing, but you haven't got energy for other. You're right. We're all deficient. We all have more energy. We all have energy for that which affects us and maybe less energy for that which doesn't. That's just the human condition. We all need to obviously improve that. But guess what? I could ask any black person or this particular person, if they are black, speak to me about racism, and I'm sure there'll be, anti-blackness, and I'm sure you have all the passion in the world for that. And that's no fault of your own. That's normal.
Nothing wrong with that.
Go and then take that same energy about, I don't know, some indigenous population, God knows where, and their struggles. You might not have the energy for that. That's just the way things are. That's just normal. So I don't get angry at other people for... I gave up getting angry about Islamophobia a long time ago in terms of why aren't the non-Muslims helping us or fighting for our right. I gave up on that a long time ago, and I don't see the point in going down the avenue. That was a surprise, but I'm sure you probably have similar sentiments. I think that's why I thought maybe this person is being a bit angry towards us, but Allah knows best.
Why are they having something I did?
Yeah, specifically you. No. Well, we've had stuff like this since we did the Black Lives Matter episode. What was it, a year or two ago?
But we didn't even. It's not much stuff, bro. It's less than 10 comments in total, man.
I know, but when you only have like 10 listeners, it's kind of a lot.
Well, alhamdulillah, I don't have 10 listeners. Well, no. I say alhamdulillah, but you never know if it's for you or against you. But Yeah, bro. I don't know. I don't really have much to say. Like, nice one.
Okay, then. I see how it is. That means we've spoken out.
I don't know. I'm
I mean, I've spoken. Oh, sorry. Is that
This
a
is
secret?
this is like one topic where it's like I feel like more than 2 times I've already said like explained the situation
Yeah, but this is a question from
from
many
a new
months ago.
person. I mean, look,
No, I'm saying
I
the
don't.
question's from
Yeah,
months ago, so it could
yeah.
have been. It's going to be everything here is going to be.
I mean, I don't. I just disagree that I'm drawing blanks. Like we actually did discuss this topic, and I don't know. Maybe you're just soft. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
It is what it is. Right.
Drawing blank, bro. Last week, was it last week? I shot a desert eagle.
Bro.
Actually, to be honest, you know, desert eagle. I believe it's 50 caliber handgun, right? So it's
Wow,
like,
we're talking about firearms now, guys. Mind heist.
yeah.
We're gonna get shut down.
No, right. It's a gentleman's sport.
You're not shooting discs, bro. You're shooting animals.
No, I'm not shooting animals.
You shot
Just
a desert
targets,
eagle with a
innit?
gun.
Actually, I've got it here, bro. I've
I
got
thought
it.
you shot an actual.
Oh, an eagle, like hunting an eagle. Whoa.
Please do not flash the weaponry.
Here you
Oh,
go,
you got
bro.
that. Okay. Wow. Okay, I was expecting maybe something else on there, but I'm glad it's just a very I don't know what you want to call it, clean sort of no real target there.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Okay, good, brilliant.
We keep it safe out here, you know.
Joshua says, "I have the heart of 50 listeners." Well, that's reassuring.
What does? Oh, that means that their opinion matters as much as 50 of those comments. So,
Yeah.
what do you think? Are we like racist or something? You tell us. What's the next curious cat, bro?
Okay, let's move on. The next one, this is from January, and he isn't anonymous, so I'm going to say his name. Who's he, Phoebe? Who's he, Phoebe? Hello, I newly found you from the episodes with Sharif, and I like your style. Shout out to Sharif.
Yes.
Whoop, whoop.
Now in the Telegram.
Yeah, exactly. I am living in Gaziantep in Turkey.
Yeah.
And with the pandemic, there are not too much opportunities to find Muslim groups to socialize with who are like-minded and learn things differently from the culture. So the podcasts are very good. Taqabbalallah. There's not many questions on Curious Cat. It's just praise.
Gaziantep, bro.
Is that close to you? Where's that?
Other side of the country, near the Syrian border.
An episode.
I know someone who moved from Istanbul all the way over there to be in like it's included in Sham, like the kind of Shari definition of Sham. So you get all the blessings of Sham, and
Nice.
he moved over there. Apparently, it's like very Syria feeling. It's like Syria, but without the madness. No, more organized and etc. But he's moving back. He couldn't hack it. Yeah, it's not very cosmopolitan, as the commenter is saying. It's very much like full Syrian or full Turkish. So I don't know where this guy's from, but yeah. Apparently, is Gaziantep known for? Is it kunafa or something? I don't know, but
Isn't everywhere known for Kanefa in Sham?
I mean, there's different levels of being known for, like you have the kunafa and abulsiya, right? Which is
Okay.
that's like the originator of that type of kunafa, Nablus, right?
Yeah.
So the other Turkish type or whatever you call it, that must have an origin. Maybe it's Gaziantep. I'm not sure.
A couple of months ago, before Ramadan, I had some knafa in Edgware Road. I don't know why I went to Edgware Road at 2 a.m.
That
Okay.
sounds like a typical thing to do.
Well, 2 a.m, and I decided to have. It was maybe it was after Faisal Chowdhury's event. I think that
Okay.
might have been when we went there. Yeah, so that's why I was out late. Bro, I had the worst meal I've ever had in my life there. I'm gonna
Okay.
say what restaurant it was. I can't even remember.
It was like Syrian or Lebanese or something.
Something.
Yeah.
I had a lamb shank. It was dreadful. It was absolutely dreadful. Couldn't finish it. I
Lamb
never not
shank.
finish food. It was dreadful.
Bro, how
And
much
then
does a lamb shank go for these days, especially in Edgware Road?
I don't know. I'm gonna say probably £13. I'm assuming.
Wow, that's not much. All right.
I don't know. I'm assuming. I'm having an assumption.
You don't
I can't
even
remember.
check the price.
Well, I checked the price back then. That was 2 months ago.
Okay, yeah.
And then the knafa was awful, bro. I was like, what's going on here? Poor. And then everyone's like, oh, don't eat, never eat from Edgware Road. So
There was one place I used to go. I mean, I went 2-3 times. It's a Kurdish place. They do good. They have that dish lamb kuzi, which is basically, I think that's lamb shank. Is it lamb shank or some tender piece of meat anyway in rice? Actually, Muhammad in Telegram, who's asking you where do you get your shirt from? I went with him to that place. Yeah,
oh, Mohammed's from the previous episode.
yeah, few episodes ago. Yeah.
Yes. Few episodes.
So you got your shirt from? It was a gift, so you don't know where it's from, right?
I think it's from FC_Palestina on Instagram.
Oh, on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
FC_Palestina. Okay, interesting.
Some of my friends have got this shirt. Well, they've got different versions. They got like a white one in English and black ones in Arabic, and then some checkered ones. And yeah, I don't know if anything goes towards any sort of charity stuff.
Yeah. That's one of those things where it's like, if they gave no money to Palestine, like, and people found out, they'd be like, "What the hell?" That they just assume it's like a charity.
Yeah, I hope so, because I remember doing that with Pure XR. I can't remember, maybe I made something, and I was like, "There is no way I can charge. Like, I can keep. I'd keep how much it costs to make, but the profits I couldn't keep that. That'd be
Really?
shady. I just felt really bad.
Making money off oppression. I don't know.
No way.
I mean,
no
that's
way.
an angle of explaining it, but
no
at the
way.
same time, like, I don't
Anyway,
know.
I didn't buy this, so although I did have it in my bookmarks. I think my wife was snooping in my bookmarks.
That's a good strategy. I'm very bad at gifting. Very bad at gifting.
Here we go.
Okay, let's bring this comment up from the chat, from the YouTube live. Whoa, second episode this week. Love it. Dr. Yusuf Abdul-Jabbar had a few sessions on moving to southeast Turkey, but with the recent changes for residency, not sure it's an easy place to be long term. You know this Dr. Yusuf Abdul-Jabbar, I heard about this guy. He was in a few WhatsApp groups or something that I was in before.
Yeah.
He lives in Gaziantep, I believe.
I'm doing my little Googlage. See me hot on the Googling. Oh, wow. Okay. Bro, are you getting deported? Is that what's happening?
Are you on another residency situation?
Briefly, without exposing your deportation.
No, I'm not. Alhamdulillah, I got a while left till my visa runs out. Let me think. So, actually, when I think about it, bro, Turkey was one of the easiest places to move, like as a foreigner, and get like not a long term but a medium term visa. Yeah. Now that I think about it, like I can't think of another country where it's that easy. You know, like many countries, like UAE, you just enter, you get 30 days. Now you get 60 days, I think, in UAE. Malaysia, you get 3 months. Turkey, you get 3 months. So that stuff is easy. But Turkey was like, look, just rent a place, show us the contract for the place you've rented, and then we'll give you a 1 year or even a 2 year visa to stay here.
Wow.
Yeah. You don't have to prove income, none of that. So it was very easy going. Like, I can't think of another country that's that easy going. And now what's happening is, because the elections are how far away? They're about a year away. The elections are a year away. So one of the typical issues that people have, and they vote accordingly, is immigration. And so in Turkey, like, I guess it's the feeling of the current government and even the opposition that the average Turk, they kind of want less immigrants, less foreigners here, right? It's the whole thing of taking our jobs or whatever it is, yeah? Spending money on taking care of these Syrian refugees, etc., diluting our culture, blah, 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 right? So in order to, you know, what they believe would help them win the election, they want to remove a lot of the foreigners, you know? I believe there's like 6 million or something foreigners in Turkey of different types, right? Some of them are refugees, some of them are just people that moved here, etc. So I guess they want to get that number down, and they've got a year to do it. And so it's like, okay, let's just get a bit stricter. So now it's like anyone new coming into Turkey, to try and get that longer term visa, they're kind of like rejecting most of those. That's what I understand, like 90% of them. Yeah. This is not people coming here for work, like they've got a job. It's people coming for kind of what would be called tourism visa or whatever. So new people, it's like quite difficult. But then even for renewing, they used to give a lot of people like 2 years visa if you were renewing. Now it's like you might get 1 year, you might get 6 months really maximum. Like most people, they kind of getting just 6 months, and then after that 6 months, maybe you won't get it again, right? But the biggest like bombshell that was like just dropped a few days ago is, so if you can't renew that visa, how do you stay here? One of the main ways was you buy a property, and then you use that property to apply for a different type of visa, like based on the fact that you're an investor in the country, and they'll give you that, like pretty much guaranteed. But what they recently said is that property that you need to buy in order to get the visa needs to be worth a certain minimum amount.
Oh.
And that minimum amount in the cities is $75,000, right? Which, yeah, I guess it's a medium amount for a house here.
Right.
Like in smaller cities you can find for much less than that and stuff, but in like Istanbul and stuff, like it's kind of hard to find a property for less than that anyway. So anyway, that's the thing, and that's why a lot of people that maybe don't have that kind of money to buy, that now they're maybe thinking, well, I can't move to Turkey now because it's not a possibility. And for even those people already here, they're like, well, what am I gonna do? So that's the situation basically.
Wow. There go my dreams crashing and burning.
You never planned to come here.
Well, you never know. I did say to my wife earlier, hey, if Heist becomes a full-time thing, we might have to move to Turkey. And she was like, yeah, but now you're not going to be there. So
I
I'll
will
have to
be.
take Heist. Well, yeah, you might be. Allah knows best. I'm not going to put out your laundry. Here's a follow-up question, though. Question for Amin. Did he pick Turkey instead of Algeria due to having Western community? Probably because of the internet speeds. That's probably.
I think Algerian internet might be okay. I don't know. I think it's okay. Anyway, I guess it depends where you are as well in Algeria. I don't think that was the reason. I was kind of like not sure about Algeria or Turkey, but even now, yeah, like with this new rules and stuff, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe Algeria is the one. But when I really think about it seriously, I'm like, no, it's not the one.
Why?
Like I'm just imagining how difficult it would be, bro. A lot of things would be difficult there, right?
Like what?
So, for example, bringing money in from abroad, yeah?
Yeah, but you've got those guys on the street with loads of cash all the time under the bridge.
Yeah, but then I have to give them cash, and where do I get the cash from? Like, you know what's nuts? Yeah, I said this to my friend the other day, and it never fully dawned on me. But when I said it, I was like, whoa, yeah? In Algeria, I don't know anyone who has a bank account, one, yeah. Like maybe my uncles, whatever, maybe they have bank account, but they don't use them. Like I've never seen anyone like go in the bank, go to the ATM, like nothing, yeah. Never mind credit card, debit card, all of that, yeah. So I'm just thinking, just to get money, like right now in Turkey, okay, I send money from whatever foreign account into my Turkish account, I use it. Right, it arrives the same day and I use it. And I can use debit card, I can do bank transfer, it arrives immediately, blah, blah, blah. In Algeria, like just getting money would be a hassle, right?
We've sent money to Algeria before, loads of times, through bank accounts. You get the big IBAN number, it's quite a long number. You send it over, it ends up in their account.
Okay, I mean...
What about Western Union as well? Have you used the Western Union before? I don't know if they've got it.
That's dead, bro.
I don't remember them taking any fees.
No, Western Union is expensive. One of the most expensive ways of sending money, because it's for people who are like don't have a bank account, and therefore it's like we're going to charge a lot because you're dodgy because you don't have a bank account. I don't remember them. But I mean, maybe I'm sure like I don't know. It's just I've never seen any of my family nothing using banks, so I don't know. And I remember like my cousin was trying to like make money online, and he's like, oh, how do I even receive money? You know, like he was trying to like do affiliate marketing or something, and he's like, yeah, none of these payment processors will pay into Algeria and all this.
Yeah, but is he UK citizen?
No,
Was he
Algeria,
Algerian?
just
Well,
Algeria.
that's different. You're coming from a place of privilege where it'll be fine for you, because as long as you've got UK bank accounts and stuff, you just function like that. The only thing you need to do is make sure that you've got a way of taking out that money that you make.
Yeah, so
In Algeria.
to send money from my, let's say, UK account to Algeria,
Yeah.
I would need an Algerian account, wouldn't I?
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
straightforward to do. But don't I suppose, are you saying you don't have like Visa and stuff there?
Not just that, like I guess you can get around that. You can just use cash, right?
In Tunisia, we just go to a cash point and use my Visa, and I can take out. Obviously, there's a little bit of a fee, but if I need an emergency, I can do that.
What I'm trying to say, bro, is I've never seen a debit card in Algeria ever.
Yeah, but that's the same with.
I've never seen anyone. There's like in the city I'm from, there's one ATM, right, in the whole city. Yeah.
But okay,
Okay. And I've never seen anyone use it.
bro. All right.
So I've never asked too deep about this, but I just assume like it's not the thing. It's just people get paid, cash, and they just spend cash, and I don't know, right?
Okay. Well, that's a minor issue. What's the next reason you wouldn't want to go?
Then, like the other thing would be like, okay, you want to live. Where do you want to live, right? Because if you want to live maybe in a more, you could say, a religious community, yeah.
Yeah.
Where your family is, like where my family is in Algeria, maybe that kind of group of people don't exist too much. So now it's like, what am I going to move to where do you find these kind of groupings of people where there's activity and there's stuff going on and there's whatever? It's going to be more in the bigger cities. But then the bigger cities is like where you have more liberals, more like alcohol, more crime. So now it's like there's a what's it called, a compromise that you pay for. I wouldn't like in the quote unquote less developed world, like big cities are horrible, right? It's the countryside that's kind of really nice and nicer. So I wouldn't want to live in a big city. As far as I know, it's not very safe, right? In the smaller cities and stuff, it's fine. But in the bigger cities in Algeria, it's like not very safe. I wouldn't really want to live there. It's not the best setup to live in. And it's like I'm going to go to the place where I have family, but then I'm not going to live in the same city as my family because I want to be in a big city. So that's another issue.
But you're not with your family in Istanbul, and Istanbul is also a big city with lots of liberal stuff in it as well.
No, but it's nice. No, but right. The liberal stuff in Istanbul, I don't engage with it or see it at all, pretty much.
Because when I was in Algeria, I really had a nice time, and even like I was in the capital.
Don't get me wrong, I like it.
There.
I like it, but as living there, I'm just thinking like all these issues. Like for example, again, a basic thing. Yeah, I've got a Mac computer. If I want to fix this in Algeria, I probably have to go capital city because nowhere else would fix it.
But like for me, like if I was in your shoes, I'd be like, oh my God, moving to Turkey would be such a headache because I can't speak the language. At least in Algeria, I can speak it. That's one big mountain out of the way.
Yeah, sure. No, I don't know if I said this on podcast before. In Algeria, you got big advantages, which is language, which is citizenship, which is having family there, which is, you're from the same culture. It's quite religious people. Those things, the 5 things I just counted. I would say everything other than that is kind of better in Turkey. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, which one do you want to kind of optimize for? Another thing is like just getting stuff done. Like you want to find maybe some specialist things. Maybe it's difficult to find. You got to go to capital to find it. You got to go to a big city to find it. There's no like online shopping at all whatsoever, Yani. Maybe these things have changed in the last 5 years.
When did you last go?
4 or 5 years. 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So I just think it would be difficult, and sometimes it's worth it, right? Even though it is difficult, more difficult. But I'm not sure of those advantages. So anyway, to answer the question quickly, is it because of Western community? No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that it was the ease of the visa. It was the ability to maybe one day get citizenship. It was the fact that I knew a few people that lived here or that were moving here. It was the fact that they're in a quite, liberal leaning country. There was like the certain areas I heard of that are more, religious and stuff. And it's kind of the freedom as well, which you do get in Algeria, where it's like, it's not a very controlling country. It's just like, do what you like kind of thing. So that
Morocco
was
would be nice, bro.
Yeah, well, I looked very briefly into what's the, not for myself, just for like, in terms of if someone wants to kind of quote unquote do hijra, maybe recommending somewhere. I couldn't really make sense of the visa rules for Morocco, like whether they give long-term visas or I don't know.
I need to check because my mum said that I can get citizenship through her, which I've never pursued. So I'd love to live it. Tanja was amazing. When I went to Tanja, bro, I was like, this is it. This is the perfect balance. Right. I loved it there. It was a really nice vibe because it was obviously along the sea. So it reminded me a lot of Brighton, you know. Even where my gran lives in Lareish, bro, beautiful, beautiful little fishing town. So, oh man, I'm reminiscing now.
I can see myself in these places for like 3 months a year.
Bro, I want to go for good. I just love North Africa so much, you know. And I do see a lot of innovation, and I do see, not bidah, like bidah, like, but you know, like
Positive
you know, I see a lot of
innovation,
Bro, I remember like before, you know, oh, you haven't been in the UK for a while, but you know, there's like a brand now called Getir, or I don't know how you pronounce
That's
it.
Turkish, bro.
Is that where it's from?
Yeah.
The purple and yellow one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's all over the UK now.
Yeah,
but
I know.
what I was going to say, oh, that's crazy. I didn't know it's Turkish. But the premise is like you can get literally any sort of small goods delivered to your house, right?
Yeah.
That was in Morocco years ago when I was there, and I was like, whoa, this is amazing.
The same company or
No,
just
it
the
was
same
like
concept?
It,
Okay.
It was called like Jeep Mac or something like that.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah, it was something like that, which is cool. It's like, oh, you know, make sure you bring with you. Like that's what the term means. But yeah, when I was in Morocco last time, they had this. It might not have been last time; it might have been the time before. And I was like, "Wow, that's actually an insane idea. Why is that not something in the UK where you can just quickly get like a Deliveroo style, quickly get something that you need, like whether it's nappies or it's
I thought that exists already in the UK, no?
it didn't exist.
Like
until
Amazon doesn't have anything like that?
No, well, Amazon's a bit different. Amazon's one big major company. They're delivering it from themselves, isn't it? This is a delivery driver that would literally go to the shop for you, get something, and bring it to your house.
Oh, Getir does that in the UK, yeah?
So that's what the premise is, yeah, in the UK. So like if you run out of toothpaste, run out of nappies, run out of obviously small like confectionery stuff. So something that you could go to Tesco's and get. That's the kind of stuff they're delivering. So it's not just, you know, takeaways, that's Deliveroo, Uber Eats kind of thing. This company, they'll grab. I think they've got warehouses of their own, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. Like in Turkey, Getir, they have like two types of warehouse. They have these little, like the size of a corner shop kind of thing, warehouses,
Right.
and then they have bigger ones, which is for a larger area, and it's like has stocks more different items. But yeah, I've got one just the warehouse down the road from me. So if I order from these kind of very basic things, it will be here in 10 minutes.
You're right. It is. It's actually founded in 2015, so they made it here quite quickly, really.
Yeah.
Actually, 2015 is a while ago. I always feel like 2015 was like yesterday.
It's like 7-8 years. Yeah.
And the headquarters is in Istanbul, so no wonder you know about it.
Yeah. There's about 3 big competitors of that type in Turkey. And they have investors from like Silicon Valley and China, and they raised a ton of money actually. I think Getir, just before they like entered the UK market, they raised like $500 million in one round or something like.
Impressive. They've definitely got that. My primary school uniform used to look like that, purple and yellow. So
it stands out quite a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good premise. I don't know what it's like for the environment. Look at me, I'm pulling out the green argument right now.
You're the hater, bro. Like we're trying to indulge in hedonism here.
The trick is to preemptively hate so no one can hate you. Okay, that's the trick. If you start hating yourself first, hating your ideas
that's such a good move.
Then it's like, oh, I've addressed it. I've acknowledged it.
Yes,
right.
It's like you retire at your peak, so no one can criticize your downfall.
Absolutely. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Right. We've got another one. Essia.
Walaikum salam, Tam.
Yeah. Would you recommend a woman that wants to live in a Muslim country to pick Turkey with a working visa? Bro, I'm bored of this Turkey stuff, man.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, it's been a while since we talked about it.
No, but like, we need to bring people on that live anywhere but Turkey and Dubai.
Yeah.
Because Dubai feels like a cop-out to me. It's like, oh, I've made hijra. Oh, you're in Dubai, though.
Okay. I'm going to send this clip to Faisal.
Bro, I remember when I found out Faisal was going to Dubai. I was like, you almost made me cry at your event, because in his event he said that he was leaving the UK and stuff,
Yeah.
and the whole crowd was like, "Oh!" And then, like, I think one of the brothers who obviously I'm friends with told me privately, he was like, "Oh, he's moving to Dubai," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not so sad now."
Where else could you imagine him moving?
Nah, alhamdulillah, like Barak, he looks like he's having a good time. I had a look at his Instagram. But, I've known brothers that moved to Mauritania.
Egypt.
There's a friend of mine, bro, Hamza, actually. He was thinking about moving to Mauritania. He was on the podcast before. He just came up to me one night on the online, and he was just like, "Bro, I'm thinking of moving to Mauritania." I was like, "Bro, that's really random." Why? Because he's not even from there. Yeah, there's a lot of obviously brothers from Pakistan that always talk about wanting to go to Pakistan. So it'd be good to speak to people that have made alternative trips. I always do feel like Turkey and Dubai are very
Yeah, I mean it's what's trending. Yeah, but I think Pakistan is the one people sleeping on.
bro. I watch those food blogs in Pakistan. Like, they sleeping on this. Pakistan is a country people are sleeping on for real.
And a lot of people, like in the UK, they have or they could get the citizenship, right? So you don't have the visa issues. Maybe your language is sorted, and the reason I'm saying they're sleeping on it, not just because it's nice and people are nice and all that, is because it's actually seems to be growing quite rapidly, and there's like a few like kind of startup movement happening out there, a few tech companies coming out there. So it's a place where you could kind of actually make money, not just go there and like try and bring money in.
Yeah, I'm sure there's, especially for English speakers, English speakers, there's
German.
opportunities there. I was on the Tunisia Reddit page, which is mostly a cesspool, to be honest. But I remember looking on there just curiously in terms of employment and stuff. I remember like there was one person who clearly they speak in English because they type in English, but they got a job out there working for some sort of call center that was UK based, but they were paying them in UK sort of wage over there, and they were living, bro. They were like, "Yo, I don't know how I got this opportunity, but it's good." So yeah, there's obviously opportunities like that for English speakers that you could always capitalize on. But did we answer her question? Sorry.
Would you recommend a woman that wants to live in a Muslim country to pick Turkey with a working visa? I think it just depends where you're from and all these different factors. But I mean, where do we recommend these days? Where can we recommend? Like, Turkey's still there. Like, Turkey's good. UAE's good.
What's the life of a woman like in Turkey compared to the UK? Like, how would she be treated? Maybe that's what the
I think it's good, bro. From what I understand, yeah, these Turkish women kind of, they're kind of, how do you say it? Basically, they got this kind of, in Istanbul anyway, they got this like feminist thing going where it's like, don't talk to me. It's like, I don't know.
Why are you trying to talk to her anyway? I mean, that's the question.
So like women like in the shops that you might interact with, they keep things very like formal and defensive, which is good. Basically, okay, I'll tell you this. Yeah, I've never seen a Turkish guy like look at a woman.
Really?
I don't really get it, right? Because like in Arab countries or whatever, like it's very common and stuff, right?
Bro,
but in Turkey, for some reason, it's like nothing. I don't know. From what I can notice, anyway. So I guess that's good. Obviously, a lot of women here wear hijab and everything, so that's good. But the rest is down to the details. But Turkey's sick, bro. Nice climate, nice food, etc., etc. You know. Okay.
Alhamdulillah. Oh, we got another one. Salam. When is the Shepherd's Way audiobook coming out? Wow.
Oh yeah. Let me look at my plans.
Are you doing the voice?
Of course, bro.
Bro, you didn't even ask me to do the voice. I could have read it. I could have read the whole book.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we can have two versions, innit? See what the people want.
The sloppy version.
Okay, so I'm supposed to start recording it next week and then finish it the week after. That's the plan.
Wow. So no Mind Heist next week. You're going to be all talked out.
I mean, look, bro. Yeah, I might wreck my voice actually, but I think it should be no more than 5 hours of total recording. Obviously, I might mess up, and that adds a lot of time to it. But I'm thinking of doing it on a bit of a casual one where it's like I might add a few little things there. I might riff a little bit. I might mess up and keep it in there. I kind of like that. It'd be like a podcast more than like these very like, structured and this and that audio books where sometimes the voice sounds a bit like a robot and stuff. It's like, I'm not really planning on doing that type of audio book. The main thing is you get whatever's in the book delivered to you via audio. So that's what you're getting.
I like that. I'm a big audiobook kind of guy.
Bro, did yours arrive?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent a picture. I put it
in Telegram.
I put it in Telegram, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty good, bro. Like people in the UK that order it, they kind of get it the next day. It's quite fast.
Yeah. I forgot that I ordered it, to be honest. I was like, what is this in my post? Very pleasantly surprised. I'm very excited. And my wife flicked through it. She's like, there's pictures. I was like, oh my God, there's pictures. I'm so
diagrams.
Yes.
I mean, there's like pictures. 4 in the whole book, but
breaks up the momentum, I like a good picture.
Yes, yeah.
There you go.
Let's go back to Curious Cat. And I think, Adnan, if you ordered the audiobook, then I appreciate that, bro. Because as you know, like, kind of giving the book away for free, so someone needs to cover the fees. So the audiobook will help with that.
Okay, there's one more decent question on Curious Cat. Assalamu alaikum from the 27th of September. The shame. For all of us, there will come a time where we have to take care of our parents. How would you tackle this? Would you consider resettling where your parents live, especially Amin?
Yeah.
If you had the money, would you pay a company to make the care take care of them for you? If not, and if your parents need full care, how would you combine it with your full-time job?
Yeah, that's a good question, bro. That's a good question, man.
For me, I wouldn't ever want to be too far. That's why I've never, I could have moved out of Brighton a long time ago, probably, for work and all sorts of stuff. Even when I got a uni offer in Kingston, I turned it down and I tried to work.
Isn't Kingston like half an hour from you?
I don't know. Kingston
it's like South London, right?
Well, still London. Yeah, I turned it down and I tried to work my grades up just to get into Brighton. Yeah. And then, I remember once I briefly might have mentioned to my mum that I was thinking of moving to London, only for some opportunities that might have been there. And she was not keen. And I was like, okay, I ain't going nowhere. But no, even now, like obviously now you can imagine now it's even more pertinent that I want to be where my family are and stuff. But what about you, bro? I'm sure you've thought about it.
Yeah. So wait, what was the first part of the question or first question?
So it's like,
would you resettle to take care of your
how would you tackle it? So let's say, ultimately you know, there's a time going to come where your parents need looking after. How would you going to approach it? If you're away from them, would you move closer? Would you get them in the same, under the same roof as you?
Yeah.
Outsource that.
So outsourcing, I mean, I'm not fully going to hate on the whole hiring a company because sometimes there might be situations where that's needed. It's not that you're like lazy or whatever. It's just like professionals, sometimes they can do things you can't do or whatever. But most of the time, it will be very distasteful and a waste of potential hasanat, really, isn't it? And maybe a source of sins even to just kind of fully forget about it. So that's the company side of things. But yeah, of course, I would consider moving. The first thing would be to bring them to me, just because a lot of the time, okay, when you're older, on one hand, you're kind of used to maybe a place where you've lived for a long time. So that's a factor. But at the same time, it's like you don't have work there or studies or these kind of things holding you there as well. And so you might actually be more able to move to, wherever your children live. I think I would consider going, but also my first attempt would be to bring, because then if they can come to me, then that doesn't disrupt like my kids' upbringing, right? Because you don't want to try and disrupt that kind of stuff. So that's that. And then I think a big a big, because I'm thinking about this like in a legit way. Like, I think then there's the part-time thing where it's like you could bring them to you 6 months, or and you go to them a few months or whatever. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
job would dictate this a lot. And then there's also the factor of like siblings, right? So
Mm.
what if your siblings are already where they live and you're not where they live? I do wonder about like, okay, would I be adding anything? Like they are being taken care of by their kids, just not me. So I definitely I'm missing out on the edger, and who knows? Like it's hard to really judge if your parents would want you to move there and if it would actually benefit them when they're already being taken care of by your siblings. Or
But that
what
can
do you
create
think
like
about that side of thing?
that can create a diffusion of responsibility, because my
A
dad had that in
diffusion.
mind.
Okay.
Yeah, so like my dad left my uncle to kind of look after my gran and stuff, but clearly there was issues and he wasn't very satisfied, so he ended up moving there himself.
Oh. Well, yeah,
Uh,
that's a factor. Like, are they doing a good job, etc.?
yeah, but what can happen, bro, is I'm not saying that this would happen, but it can happen. Is that sibling becomes discontent with that situation, like,
Oh, like
I have to look
overwhelms
after,
them. Yeah.
yeah, I have to look after the dad or mum,
Oh,
or
yeah.
all on my own, and you're
Mm.
out on your, you're doing whatever and living your life. I've got
Yeah,
kids as well. I had dreams as well. There was things I wanted to
that's
do,
true. Yeah.
especially if they're younger than you,
Yeah.
because you've cut off their life short, so to speak. I'm not saying that that's the right thing to think, but
Yeah.
it is a thing that people may think. So there's that element of it. And the other element you brought up, my wife's whole career has been working in care, you know, and my in-laws as well. Like, but mainly my wife, her whole sort of time at working was in care, and even she's like, no, absolutely not. Like, she just wouldn't want it to do that, despite the fact that she's like, I think she got up to like supervisor level or something like that. So she's well established, and her parents owned a care home and had established that. So they know their stuff, and they still wouldn't want to do it to anyone. They wouldn't want, because I think, like, so when my wife moved down here with me after we got married, uh, before we had Suleiman, she worked very briefly at a care home here. Straight away, she was like, everything is wrong. This is not up to standard. This is dreadful. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. Obviously, there's all sorts of standards that they're meant to.
Mm.
And she quit, I think, because she just, it wasn't right at all.
Mm.
So yeah, it just shows, like, and I've been in care homes as well. Even for work, I've been in care homes many times. All sorts of stuff happens. And at the end of the day, it's nothing the same as the care that you'll give to someone you love and someone that you know and someone that's family, right? So
Yeah.
there is that risk of outsourcing it, and in the same way that we slack at work, they slack at work.
Yeah.
We slack in our job, they slack in their job. It becomes the mundane.
Yeah,
It
that's true.
becomes every day. So yeah, so there's
Yeah.
that element to think of.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just think it depends on a lot of things. But you're right, bro. Like, if one person mostly takes it on, it can kind of take over their whole life. I guess when if you're not that person and you're thinking of it hypothetically now, you're thinking, oh, yeah, I would love to like take care of my family. That's so much edger. But then at the same time, there would be compromises to that as well.
And this is why, like, societies in the West especially are not built to do that and to support that kind of structure.
There's no reason to sacrifice, really.
What do you mean?
Like for a careful, like, why am I going to ruin my whatever career or
Well, this
whatever
is
it
it.
is?
That's what I mean. But even family structures, family homes, all sorts of stuff. It's not
Yeah.
part of it. Now, Allah knows best how old your parents will live. My grandmother, bro, she's old, mum. Obviously, she's my dad's mum, but she can run, bro. She's fit. Every day she's up before anyone. Do you know what I mean? And she's out there in the fields, in the gardens that we got. Just work, run back and forth. Like, she mashallah, do you know what I mean? Allah barak. But for some elderly people, they aren't that mobile and they're not able to, and then they require more care. I'm not saying that my grand doesn't require care. God, you could see how much medicine we have to get her all the time. Look, you know what I mean? But I don't know if that's just because of the Tunisian condition and the doctor's always like prescribing different things every time she has something. But no, yeah, it's obviously when she gets sick, she gets very sick, and we need to look after her and stuff. So it's kind of but it does remind me, like when my dad got ill, and my dad, bro, I don't have a single memory of my dad ever going to hospital or the doctors, literally none. But bro, when he started really needing looking after, bro, that was like, I remember carrying him on occasion, and I was like, this is different, you know. So that can come, and you just be like, alhamdulillah. And I think this is the importance as well. Not saying that I'm outsourcing the care of my parents to my wife, but it's obviously a team effort, and it should be. And I think it's really important that you marry the right person. You know, you marry someone who's empathetic, someone who's caring, someone who's conditioned to caring and conditioned to looking after others and stuff. Doesn't have this selfish attitude or whatever it is. And yes, you know, look, a woman can say, "Oh, but my rights in Islam dictate that I only have to do this, this, and this." You know, so all this extra stuff, all this stuff on the periphery, like looking after your parents and all this sort of stuff, which may not necessarily be black and white in Islam in the sense that you have to do that, right? They could back up and I see it on Twitter all the time, bro. I see, you know, that discourse of like, you know, his money is my money is my money. Yeah, fair play. And there's no way I'm looking after his parents and all of this and stuff. And on the same side, it can be abused by men as well, who obviously marry somebody and they straight away stick them in that family home with no intention of ever moving out, no intention of ever giving them the privacy, and you're going to look after my mum, and the mother-in-law dictates everything, you know, which is also a prison in itself. But there has to be a balance, I think. And I think you want to have a spouse that is going to have empathy and care for your parents, bro. And I will never, and you know, I'll praise my wife on the microphone, bro. I don't mind. I will never forget, you know, the care that my wife gave to my dad, and just the relationship they had, bro. You know, I remember being in Tunisia once, and my dad was walking. I'll never forget this. Burnt in my mind, bro. This image. My dad was walking past the hallway, and then my wife was walking. Like they met each other in the middle. My dad just gives my wife a big hug. He's like, "Oh, binti," you know, calling her my daughter. And then she came and sat next to me, and I was like, "What was that?" And she goes, "What? Your dad does that all the time." I was like, "My dad's never been like that to me." Do you know what I mean? So you ideally be in the lair. That's a really good relationship to foster. So
I think that ultimately that just comes down to, if someone values parents as we should in Islam, then if their husband or wife's parents need looking after, they would understand the importance of that, wouldn't they?
And I think the man has to be conscious not to just outsource that and be like, listen, go look after my mum or go look after my dad. Like, you know.
But it's also, it's reciprocated in the sense where, like, if your wife's parents are ill now, I'm not saying you're going to maybe take on that same kind of caring role, but you're going to fully support what's needed to look after them because you value that, right?
Yeah, and look, your responsibility, not say responsibility, but your ability to care physically for somebody who's sick and stuff might be a bit different to a woman's. I think a women have a knack for that. Like my wife has a knack for looking after elderly people because that was her job. However, in my mind, if like my in-laws are going through something, you know, and they need financial assistance or they need me to physically be there, drive them somewhere, whatever it is, bro, if I can do it, I should do it. You know, there's no two questions about it. That's the way I perceive it. So that's the balance, I think, is in your own fields of expertise, in your own areas of what you can do, you should do for both sides of that family. You know, if I've got money and they need money, then I'll assist. You know, if there's physical care that needs to be done, whether, you know, like we just mentioned, then my wife would assist. And that's the best way to frame
I think I might know your answer to this, but what's your thinking around, you know, let's say your parents, whatever, they're ill, they need looking after. Let's say they need looking after, but they're kind of okay. I mean, it's hard to, without being specific, but okay, let's say like they're with your siblings, right? let's say whatever, your sister's living with them.
Yeah.
So they're getting like the base help that they need. Do you still go and like move in with them or whatever? Let's say you're not living that close. Do you still go, even though like it's all kind of sorted? Do you go anyway, or how would you judge that situation?
One could argue that that's the situation I'm in now. You know that my mum could do with a lot more help, and my sisters are with her. I'm not too far away. I could and should go, more frequently. That's what we try and do. We try and go more frequently. I'm about 20-minute drive away, and I wish I was closer.
But let's say you're in like Newcastle.
Yeah, that's different. I wouldn't want to move town. I wouldn't want to leave out. Like if I was in Newcastle, I would move down to wherever they are.
You would move, yeah.
Yeah. I would either move down or, like you said, try and get it. But there's 3 of them. Do you know what I mean? I'm one family unit. I could move down maybe easier than 3 of them who might have separate kind of trajectories. Maybe not so much my mum, but my sisters will have their own trajectories. Bro, my dad's biggest advice from day dot was like, don't break up the family. Like always stay close, always. And that was his whole thing about marriage as well. Like marry someone close to home so you're not split up, so you're not divided all over the place. Like if my sisters were to get married and go somewhere really far, how do I support them when they have issues? Because they're going to go somewhere where there's no family, no backing.
Yeah.
And where I'm living now, bro, originally it was just my auntie that lived here. And then we came, and then my uncles came, and then suddenly like we were all spread out across the UK, the ones that were in the UK.
Yeah.
And then we slowly started, congregating all down here. So, and it makes sense. Not that we're the closest knit family. We don't see each other all the time. But you know that when there's an emergency, there's someone around the corner that can come and support who has a driving license. So that's it. I think that's the way I'd see it, bro. So like you said, like you being in Turkey and stuff and your family being everywhere else, bro, that would give me a lot of anxiety. I wouldn't be able to do that. So when I talk about moving to Tunisia, it's with the intention that maybe one day my mum's going to move there as well for good, because she's built that place. Her blood, sweat, and tears went into Tunisia, and eventually, and I know that she'd be way more comfortable moving and living there for good if I was there as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's anyone who moves. They always would want their family to come. But yeah, I told my parents. I guess they might still come, but I told them like come, even like live in the same house, like come.
Yeah.
Okay. Walaikum salam. Sharif was here or is here.
Hey.
Okay. RR said reading it right now. Let's talk about the book. Okay, this is a question, I think. Do you think Muslim influencer culture turns people into a commodity, so fans feel like they have ownership over them because they gave them an interest, which makes them feel entitled to give advice? This needs some analysis.
Right.
So
if you take off Muslim, then every influencer culture turns the person into a commodity. We spoke about this many episodes ago about like YouTubers that literally went crazy because of their fans prodding them and driving them to do insane stuff.
So it's like I give you views and therefore I can control you.
Yeah. Like imagine we're doing this stream, right?
Yeah.
And then it suddenly turns into a like, let's say let's say we weren't Muslim, we're drinking alcohol. All right. Oh, do you want me to take the shot? I'll take the shot if you, whatever.
I'll give you 500 likes.
Yeah, I'll take the shot. Okay. And then it's like, no, I'm not doing anymore. Oh, someone just donated 100. Oh, I'm going to have to do it for you guys. Because you're entertaining. You're just constantly entertaining. Bro, that was a YouTuber that I used to watch, right? Similar to that. And he just he committed suicide. He went crazy because of because he ended up with mental health issues, and his fans thought that he was clowning. And his fans would put all these clown emojis and stuff and thought he was just being erratic on the street, all of this stuff. Bro, he was absolutely, he just went and lost it. So, in that sense, yeah. Do you know what I mean? What else have we got?
Which makes them feel entitled to give advice. Oh, so the viewers can give advice because they're giving you views or likes or whatever, the viewers feel like they can give advice to the influencers. I guess so, but I haven't seen that dynamic. usually when it comes to influencers, I just see people that love them and people that hate them. I don't see really people that kind of like them but advise them. There's just extremes out here.
In the Muslim sphere, you'd want to advise them. You can't.
You would want to, but I'm saying I don't see that phenomenon of I'm giving you my likes, so now you got to listen to my advice.
Oh, you're saying that the influencer themselves is advising his listeners.
No, that I'm relaxed.
So the listeners are advising him. Well, yeah, but why wouldn't they? Do you know
They
what I
said
mean?
that it makes them feel entitled to give them advice because they're watching them, they're giving them the likes, they're giving them the views.
I don't know. When it comes to the people that do give advice anyway within the Muslim sphere, they'll do it anyway, regardless who it is. It's easier to do it now. It's easy, it's easier to do it to someone who's big because you can just write comment and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I feel like it's rare to have someone who is a kind of fan of someone and they advise them. Unfortunately, even though those would be the best people to advise someone, but usually it's just the ones who hate someone they're advising, but really they're just attacking them.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
There was Islam 21C did a podcast with Muhammad Hijab. I listened to that. It was pretty interesting, but it was quite I don't know, it was not the best in terms of like interview like style. Like it was quite confrontational.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
But yeah, it's good to see the way Muhammad Hijab sees things. Like he was talking about people, the comments. He's like, do you read the comments? Do you look at the comments? He's like, yeah. He's like, I have to be open to what people are saying. He's like, I listen to people based on how close they are to my values, right? So if you're not even like Muslim, okay, I'm not really giving you too much, thought. But the closer you are to like my values and the way I think, the more I'm going to take your advice seriously and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I need to listen to it. What was the main sort of premise of the interview, though?
Talking about YouTube dawah, the problems with it, the benefits of it. He's talking about his style of like debating and interesting. Did you see that kind of debate thing he did with that Somali atheist mulhid woman? Forgot her name, Ayan something.
With Jordan Peterson's daughter.
Exactly, yeah. That. You know how I didn't watch it, but someone told me that he went so raw on her. He destroyed her personal life.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. He said, we have a shura council thing, 5 people, like elders. He said, we discussed that point and we agreed that I would do that.
Right. Okay.
He's like, don't think that I was just in the spur of the moment. He's like, no, we planned that and we decided, we had a vote or something between the 5-6 of us. And we decided, we're actually going to go personal because it made sense, Yani. So
the thing is, the method of that debate was a bit odd because I don't think she could hear anything he was saying.
Yeah.
So it was just like they were directed both the same question and they both answered it.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I can't remember what the point was, but that was it. He was saying, and I guess this goes into a fiqh thing, but he was saying that if I make a refutation video or I write in the comments something bad about someone, Yani, calling them out about something, he's like, that's not backbiting. He's like, because when you say something on YouTube, it's in the public sphere, and if I put that person's name in the title, then 100% they're going to see it. So how is it backbiting anymore? But then Dr. Salman, he was saying like, well, if they don't like what you're saying, that's backbiting, surely. And he's like, no, that's advising. Because it's like I went to them and said it to them. Because it's on YouTube, it's public, like they're definitely going to see that video. So it might as well be that I went and said it to them.
Maybe the issue there is on the definite bit. Because you can't definitely say with the full...
Well, I mean, usually in the Sharia, things go by 95% or more chance.
But you're throwing darts at a target blind, bro. Instead of just sending it to them.
Well, yeah, I mean, you should just tell them, call them and tell them if you can get hold of them.
You could do the video and like send it directly to them
privately.
I would. But
then I guess there's the other element of, correcting a mistake. I don't know really the details of the rulings of this stuff, but I feel like the most honorable way of doing it, while limiting the damage of, let's say, someone who's spreading something bad, is to address the issue or the concept or the idea without names.
That's what a lot of people do, and I like those ones because I know what they're talking about.
You don't get the clicks, you don't get the... You could say, though, that person's viewers are now not going to see the video because the name's not in it.
Yeah, but then those people that are arguing can use that video as a precedent. For example, I'm familiar with the issue. I'm arguing with someone, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, Amin's just done a video on this topic. Let me take that. Let me share it to his listeners who I'm debating. Do you know what I mean? Or send it to the person themselves. It kind of leaves your hands clean because you're not necessarily throwing it in the mix. But it also means that those that are arguing your point as well have some more material and a concise way of sharing that. Because like if it's on Twitter, for example, 240 characters isn't enough to give a succinct answer or a response to some issue like this. And once that video's out there and established, it can always be a referral back to that all the time,
I was going to do one of those, I watched a ridiculous video by one of these Muslim red pillars. And yeah, I'm going to make that video, but I'm not going to say the name, I guess.
God.
I remember Mufti did a video like that and he did mention the name.
Really?
So it's good enough for Mufti, bro.
Do you know what service I did the other day? I received dream interpretation.
Yeah, okay.
Ever gone down that road?
No, although 9 months ago, I had a mad dream and I thought it might be something I should look into, but I'm kind of scared. Kind of don't want to.
I remember Mufti did a reason I remember is because of Mufti, because he started a series on it many years ago, the science of dream interpretation, and then it like cut off abruptly and he never uploaded again. So I don't know if like the footage got lost but there was a playlist. There's a playlist on his YouTube channel, and I think it's like maybe a couple of episodes, but it never goes in. It was like very introductory, and then he was about to get into the meat and bones, and there was never an upload. So, but that is what set me off into realizing there's a precedence for this in the Quran and Sunnah.
Precedence for what?
For modern day dream interpretation.
Oh, is that like Surah Yusuf or something?
I know there's obviously sort of Yusuf alayhi salam, but for me it was like the disconnect between Yusuf alayhi salam and now. Like, is it eligible for us to do that now, yani? Or is that something that was exclusive to the prophets? But yeah, apparently there's a whole science behind it. There's a whole science. Yeah, a whole science behind it based on Quran and Sunnah. And even the individual that interpreted my dream for me, he was directly like taking stuff out of Quran and Sunnah in relation to it.
It's like, if I'm gonna guess, like, and then you can correct me just from memory. It's something like, let me try and think of an example. So in the Quran, okay, for example, Surah Masad, where it's like, Fi jidha hablum min masad, So the wife of Abu Lahab is holding the fire, the rope of fire. Yes. So in the Quran, there's a rope of fire being held by someone, who's in Jahannam, or they're going to Jahannam for sure. So if you had a dream and there was a rope of fire, you can interpret that based on the fact that in the Quran there is a rope with fire. Is that kind of how it works?
Similar. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know the science, but that was kind of the vibe I was getting. So, for example, like, it'd be a lot easier if I could play the audio, because he sent me a voice note over the interpretation. But like, I didn't even want to share it with my family, So, and I did. I shared it with my mum and because it was a dream I had about my dad before he died, and I never got around to like, bro. It was like vivid, very religious, very like, when you know that there's dreams that you obviously have all the time that are like what we say in Maghreb, just all sorts of nonsense, And then there's those dreams that you have, bro, where it's like, this could have been a narration, bro. So, do you know what I mean? Like it was like that. It was like, subhanAllah, like it reminded me of the significance of the dreams that the Prophet ﷺ would have and how he would describe them, because you knew that he was getting revelation.
Yeah.
So, and this was like, it was in that vein where it was like, this is so deeply religious dream that even I started just coming up with my own interpretations. Like one element, I'll say this particular element of the dream. Yeah, one element was like going to Hajj, right? But there's a massive queue. There's a massive queue to get to Hajj, but for some reason, I'm skipping all the queues. Do you understand what I mean? Like I'm skipping, me and my father skipping all the queues. You understand? And that was an important kind of thing. Like, why would I skip all the queues? Like, what's that mean? And in your head, you could come up with your own conclusions what that means and stuff.
Yeah.
I won't say more than that because it was quite the most important bit was something so like it was almost, I can't explain it, like something that you haven't even seen before. Like a lot of things that we see in our dreams and stuff are things that we could logically come up with. This was something that the thought hadn't even crossed my mind that this was something that would happen, and it was happening in my dream. So it was like something completely out of this world, if you know what I mean. It wasn't something I'd ever.
Are you going to give us the tafsir or?
So no, I don't want to give the tafsir because it's not humble enough. I can't be humble and talk about it. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying ultimately is that there's a science behind it, and it was it's very deep. And I'd love to meet people who've actually studied the science. You know, here's an idea. Why don't I just find someone? We'll bring them on Mind Heist.
Why don't you bring the guy on that you got the interpretation from?
Yeah, I'll do that. Inshallah, I'll do that. There's a couple of shuyukh that I know that do it. That specialize in that field, but
I feel like that's in the category of like a jinn topic, like something people will be into.
Maybe. This is it. I think ultimately I was surprised at the validity of the science. I didn't really know, and it's not something you see and spoken about a lot. Like, you go on YouTube and stuff, and all the lectures are obviously there's lectures about fiqh, there's lectures about sharia, there's lectures about family life, etc. And then the more sensational ones are like the jinn and the akhirah and the end times.
Yeah.
But you'd think that this should be up there, And the brother that's doing this at the moment, his Instagram is he's doing reels, bro. So it's like, what does this mean in a dream? I briefly explain what it could mean.
Yeah. Bro, I had a really bad dream.
Oh, is that what you want the tafsir for?
Well, I don't even want the tafsir.
I wouldn't. I think so. One thing he said is like he doesn't advise tafsirs for bad dreams.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that goes in line with like not sharing a bad dream.
Yeah, but I thought it's like if it's really bad and it feels that bad, then it means there is a meaning to it. But also, I think there's a hadith about like bad dreams are from shaitan. I don't know. I can't. I'm getting things mixed up. Yeah.
No, that is part of the. Oh, I thought this comment was about this. No, that is part of not sharing it, isn't it? Isn't there like there's a narration, our tradition to not share a bad dream?
Yeah, so, but it's like for the purpose of interpretation, maybe. But I don't know, bro. It was just a bad dream, and I was kind of like, look, if the interpretation is bad, then I don't want to know, bro. Like, let me just like do Tawbah or something, yeah. And sometimes a bad dream can have a good meaning. So if it's a good meaning, then again, let me just do Tawbah anyway. I don't know how this.
Yeah. There's a sister here said there is a interesting book about this topic, authentic dreams interpretations of the works of Ibn al-Qayyim and al-Baghawi.
Okay.
There you go. So, but what I'm surprised about is how this is such what I would consider not a sensationalist, but like you could draw so many, you could get views, bro, from stuff like this.
You would imagine.
Yeah, like even the brother himself, he's got 25,000 followers on Instagram, and only a handful of people I know follow him. Do you know what I mean? Only 4 people I know follow him.
Yeah. Listen, you guys talking about getting Sharif on. I think we should get Sharif on. It's about time, but just not now because I think I have to end it now.
Sharif, maybe we should do a live. This is what we'll do.
Live Q&A with Sharif.
Live Q&A with Sharif.
Yes.
All right. I'll make a poster about it so that people know in advance.
Poster, yeah.
Share it, and it's the Muslim Homesteader Q&A experience.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sharif, if you're on board, bro, we're on it.
Yes, we'll discuss that in the Telegram.
Sharif uncle because of all the ilm he's got on this topic.
Definitely.
But I don't want to make him feel older than he doesn't want to feel. So I'm gonna.
Bro, he's definitely younger than you in the head after this last episode.
He's talking about Marines. Talk
Yeah.
about homesteading. These
Yeah.
are all things I couldn't even dream of doing.
Bro, he reinvented himself at an age older than you. He's a
Yeah.
reinventor, bro.
Bro. He's probably
Anyway,
thinking,
I can hear the
yeah,
adhan. I'm going to be late.
all right then. Barakallahu fikum, everybody. And I'll let Amin cut us off.
Yeah, this has been a good one, man. We did a bit of Curious Cat, a bit of live interaction. And inshallah, we'll get Sharif on soon. And what's his name as well? Shuaib. Well, that's a good one as well. We should do. Okay. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. As usual, you can go to mindheistpodcast.com to send us your questions or interactions or comments. And yeah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum salam.